So I'm with Buddy Mcgirt. I'm going to call you a legend because even though you're still young, I'm with the legendary trainer here, Buddy Mcgirt. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Can't complain.
Great. This is an interview with BoxingShow.tv. Buddy, I know a few months ago I saw you the last time in Montreal. It was not in the best circumstances with Arturo Gatti passing. I don't want to talk about it too much, but just give me one moment that you had, maybe in the ring or off the ring, that you remember that was really a good moment for you.
With Arturo, man, there's so many. I mean, out of the ring, watching him dancing in the gym. I mean, he liked listening to 50 Cent and Puff Daddy. So, and when we put that on, he would start dancing. I would just crack up.
Really? Is he a good dancer? From the moment, from the way you're saying it, I don't know.
He was good for about 5 seconds, then he'd lose his rhythm.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But he was a great guy, and he'd be missed.
Of course, you will be tremendously missed. But, buddy, for this fight, you're working with Joachim Alcine. And how did you get connected with Joachim, even though I know he had a good relationship with the Grant brothers? How did you come along? Did he call you, or you called him?
Honestly, I met him at Arturo's funeral.
Oh, wow.
That's where we met at. And his wife wanted to talk to me. I told her, let's meet for dinner. And we met for dinner that night. Right. And here we are.
Wow. That probably the Arturo. That's the only good thing that came out of the Arturo, even though it was a really sad moment. Right. I want to ask you, as a fighter, which were the two fighters that you really, really loved fighting?
You know what? I got to say that every fight, because every fight helped me develop to get to where, to become a world champion. So every fight I had fun. Win, lose, or draw, it was all good for me.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not going to give me one name that you had. Okay, who was your toughest fight? How's that?
My toughest fight is between two guys, Frankie Warren and a guy named Vincent Relaford. They were my two toughest fights.
Okay, I would have thought maybe Pernel Whitaker, even though he was, I know he was more of a defensive fighter, but it was still a really, really good fight.
Yeah, it was a very good fight, you know what I mean? But my toughest fights were, I got to say, was Frankie Warren and Vincent Relaford.
And as a trainer, let me ask you, why is it that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work with the trainer, even though the fighter is a good fighter and the trainer is a really good fighter? How come it works, sometimes it doesn't work?
Because sometimes what happens is the fighter who becomes a trainer thinks that, they seem to forget that the fighters can't, they think that the fighter can pick it up as easy as they did, as easy as they did. But that fighter has to remember, you didn't pick it up that easy. You know what I mean? So, and then some of them try to train the fighters the way that they fought, and you can't do that either. I made that mistake early on in my career.
Right.
And then I said, I got to take what that fighter has and make it work for him, make adjustments, and correct his mistakes.
I mean, you've seen great trainers. A perfect example with Emmanuel Stewart and Lennox Lewis, where Emmanuel trains some of the guys, and sometimes it doesn't work, and then he just took him in, and boom, he became a champion. I mean, just fixing a few things. Well,
to me, in my eyes, one of the greatest trainers was Eddie Futch, who worked with all types of fighters. He had Joe Frazier, who was short, and put pressure. Then he worked with guys like Larry Holmes and Michael Spinks, who were tall and rangy. So you learn. I've learned myself from watching those guys like Georgie Benton and Eddie Futch, and becoming friends with them and picking their brains and getting knowledge from them.
Right. Who were your best fighters growing up? Who were your idol?
Well, as a kid, everyone loved Muhammad Ali. But as I got older, I read books on Sugar Ray Robinson, Archie Moore, Jersey Joe Walcott. So, Jack Johnson. You start to read books on these guys. Then you study films with them, and there's so many of them. So it's just a whole. I could be here all day telling you.
Your experience with Tarver and the Roy Jones fight, were you surprised that he actually knocked him out in the second fight?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, Antonio was on a mission that night, and I knew that.
You actually believed he was going to knock him out?
Oh, yeah. I knew he was going to knock him out. Because and I just knew it. I just had that feeling from when it was the last week of training. I always judge things on the last week of training. That last week of training, I said he's going to knock him out. So at the end of the first round, I said, I got to get him mad. And I got Antonio mad. He went out there, and he did what we came to do.
With that being said, you got him mad because I know you like to motivate your fighters. Alcine is more of a laid-back fighter. How do you get him motivated?
Well,
his personality is very quiet.
But when he gets in that ring and the bell rings, he's totally different. You know what I mean? You got to get to know the fighter on a personal level, I feel. So you know what to say to them, because some guys you can curse at, some guys you can't. Right. He's the guy you can't curse at. So
he's a Christian all the way.
So you can't curse at him. So you got to know what to say to get him to do what you need him to do.
So you So you think this Alcine fight, you're going to be here at least, hopefully, for the next? I know they signed him up for at least 4 fights. We're hoping we're going to see you more often in Montreal.
Yeah, that's my goal. You know what I mean?
You've been to Montreal before the Arturo?
Never. This is my second time here, and it's a great city. And I'm just saying, I'm glad to be a part of the event.
Okay, well, buddy, thank you very much for this interview. It was great. Until next time, we're going to get Buddy Mcgirt again.
All right, thank you. Hi, my name is Buddy Mcgirt, and you're watching BoxingShow.tv.